As you know, it is iPhone season, and one of the coolest accessories you can get for your iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max is this Telesin Master Grip. Now, the Master Grip isn't just cute and stylish, it actually has some functions. This particular setup is the combo, and what you're going to get is the grip and the case. It's mostly about the grip, but the case does add a lot of super cool functionality. And that's not a pun, because this is a cooling case. It all makes sense in a second. Stick around and I'm gonna show you why you might wanna check this out. Hold up, Doc. Before you do that, let's do a quick unboxing so you can see what comes inside the box of this Telesin Master Grip. So you can see, let's get in here, give it a little slice. Be careful not to scratch up the box. I'm gonna There it is. This kit is specifically for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So that is this iPhone you see with the little bumpy bump and the nice bright orange. What you're going to get first is this incredible case. This is a cooling case, but we'll talk more about that in a second. You're going to want to peel off this little part right there and then go ahead and stick your phone inside. Boom. Now your phone is in the case. Let's get under here. And then you're going to look inside this box, and you can tell by the icon, this is documentation, but there's more than just documentation in here. As you get this open, yes, there is documentation, but there's also a screen protector. So there is a cleaning cloth. We'll place that there. Here is the documentation. We'll put that there. There is also the cage to allow you to align the screen protector, and then the cleaning wipes. And inside here, there is the glass for the screen protector. I'm assuming it's like a 9H, like really hard glass, but we'll put that over there for a second. In the case also, you're going to get this lanyard for strapping it to your arm. So you have a nice little lanyard with a carabiner style clip right there. You can press it in and then you can clip it to things. It also has this little piece that you can attach to the case over here. I'm not a fan of these. I just don't use these, mostly because I have big hands and it's kind of hard to get it on and off. So I just don't normally use that, but it does come with a lanyard if that is your style. You're going to get this really incredible light. And so what you can do with the light is you press to tap it on, press it again to change the color temperature. It's kind of hard to see on my camera, but you also have the brightness control right there on the top. So you can press it to get a mixed light, and then you can go all the way cool right there. Hold it to go off. And the other incredible thing about this light is it does expand, and inside there you have a mirror. Let me take this plastic off the mirror. You have a mirror and it pulls out like such, right? So you can pop it in. Oi. And the mirror is rotationable. So I'll show you what that does. If you were to put this guy on your phone like such, you want to pull that light up and then kick one of these, you can angle the light. So maybe you're just shooting it in the air to get a little bit more light in the room, or you're pointing it at your face, you know, kind of thing. I'm not the beauty influencer, probably not going to use the light, but it is handy and I do like it. It will stay in the bag because you never know when you need an extra light. So that'll stay there. You also get this really cool lens protector. This one is just UV. So we'll pull the cover off the front and we'll pull the cover off the back, and then we will slide it onto the case like such. There is a little magnet in there that keeps it connected to the case, and there it is. So that's really beautiful there. And then last but not least, you do get the Telesin Master Grip. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is plug it in and get it charged up. And well, actually, this is 3/4 charged all the way right now, but I will go ahead and charge it all the way up and let it get charged up. So what you're going to do to pair this up is hold this red button down for 2 seconds until you see it start to blink. And once you see it start to blink, you see it says Telesin right there. Go ahead and press that button to get that sucker activated. Go ahead and pair it. And once you have this baby activated up, you're good to go. The other trick you're going to want to do is go into accessibility in your settings. So let's come down here to accessibility. And then you want to click on zoom, and you want to go to zoom full region. And then we have the full region zoom right there. So that's all you need to do to get it set up, and then you are good to go. Now we got this unboxing done. Let's kick it back to Doc so we can finish this review. Now, if you want just the grip, you're looking at about $99 for this, available on Amazon. Of course, there will be links in the description. And yes, Telesin did send me this in order for me to show you what I think about it, but they didn't pay me anything for it. It's not a sponsored video. They just gave it to me and said, tell us what you think. And you know, if I like some, I'm gonna tell y'all. That's just how this works. Anyway, so what this is first of all, in here is a 3200 milliamp hour battery. So if nothing else, it acts as a MagSafe charger for your phone. But that's the least of it. What this grip does is it gives you a record button, a zoom rocker, and you have a customizable function button and then another button here. And in the front, there's even a little roll that you can use to go in between modes. There's a thumb grip right here. As you see, a lot of people buy for their cameras, they'll add a thumb grip like you've seen on my Fuji. And even on the little Leica, I have a little thumb grip that you can use to help you hold the camera better, especially if you got beefier hands. On the bottom, you see some lights that will give you status of the battery. There is a USB-C port. There is a quarter 20 thread option, and there's a place for the grip handle. It's kind of like a lanyard that you put on here to wrap around your wrist. I didn't bring that. I normally don't wrap these things around my wrist. But yeah, this thing is super cool. Doesn't weigh a lot and is nice build quality. As soon as I slap this on the back of the phone, one thing the phone starts to do is it thinks for a second and it starts charging. So it's charging the phone. Luckily, my battery is at almost 100%, so it's not going to do anything. And then it helps you when you want to shoot because you can hold your camera a little bit better, get the shots and angles that you're looking for. Now, this does work with the built-in camera app. So let me do something real quick. I'm going to start the screen record on here so I can maybe cut into these in a second. And then we'll go in and we'll launch the standard issue camera app. There we go. And so in the camera app, when I rotate the wheel in the front, it goes between the various modes of shooting. So if I'm here and I rotate this, you'll see it changes modes on the different forms of shooting, right? It also allows me, let's put that back in photo or video. It also allows me to use the zoom rocker, which allows me to zoom in and zoom out. And then the other thing that it allows for is it allows for start and stop recording. So when it's recording like this, I can hit the button and it'll stop recording or to record. Now, while it's recording, if I double tap the function button, it should go into pause mode. And now it says right there, the video is paused. And when I'm ready to go again, I can just let that sucker go and continue recording by double tapping the function button. And then it's back to recording again, continuing on with the same file. So a lot of versatility there. And again, I just like the fact that you can use this little guy to get between your various modes. 9 times out of 10, I'm just flipping back and forth between photo and video, but I could also set it to flip the camera if you want. Now, what I use to flip the camera right now is this top button here. There is a little function button. So as you see there, is looking at me. And then if I flip it, now it's looking at you guys, and I can flip it again and it just comes right back. So when I'm holding the grip and I'm out shooting, having fun, I just need to flip the camera, just give it a little tap, and then I can talk to this camera as if I was, doing a 2-camera setup, maybe here and here, right? Allows me to do that. And again, I like to hit that button and just go. Now, they went further. They made their own app. Get to the last page. I got way too many apps on this phone. Get to the last page, and that app there is called Reef Color. If I hit into the Reef Color app, as you can see, I could do a nice sort of like slightly anamorphic 16:9 view, and you can use this to change between the various options. When you press down here on the bottom, you'll see I have a FNC style camera. You have the Has-X, kind of like the Hasselblad style cameras. You got a little point and shoot action you can press in here. You can go Leica mode. Polaroid mode is cool because you can see it has a nice little Polaroid border on there. You can select a standard CCD camera. So you know how all the kids are buying these point and shoot cameras from back in the day, like the Fuji W1. That would be what a CCD camera is. You got the EOS mode. If you're trying to get to like an EOS 50 from back in the day, you got faded, which I believe kind of is analogous to like the Olympus pen system. And then you even have a dive case mode, which is if you're using it with an underwater housing and you have your phone set up in that, it can give you sort of that appeal. I tend to leave it set in the Leica mode because your boy is on the red dot kick right now, right? So you got those nice sort of film simulations built in, and as you go around and shoot photos or videos with that, those will be applied. Of course, you can use none of them and just shoot regular and apply it later in post. Some of the other things that you could do is when you go into the settings on this guy, my fingers won't hit it, I can shoot a format that's sort of like this. It's almost like in a 4:3. Do not change apps on me. I can press it again and go into a 16:9 or 9:16. And then I can also press that again and go into a 1:1, which is going to give you sort of that square framing if you want to do something like that. And I've been having a lot of fun doing the sort of letterboxy, sort of wide mode. And again, I love the fact that you can just flip the button on the top to have it see you. So now you're looking at me, looking at you, looking at me, looking at you. Anyway, super cool. Again, you got your photo and video mode. And then in this case, I can use the roller in the Reef app. The roller in the front basically helps me get my exposure tuned in because I'm standing so close to this light. The exposure on the phone, of course, always being a little bit overexposed, I can tone that down. So that's going to come in handy. Now, one of the most common questions that comes up, again, this app is super cool. It's Reef Color. You can download that to work with this. As a matter of fact, if you want something different and free, you might even just download it to use it as your replacement for the camera app. But one of the common questions that came in is, does it work with the Blackmagic camera app? Now, people that know me on my channel know that I use the Blackmagic camera as the speed button on the side since the iPhone 16. And I can report that if I press the record button, boom, it does record. See that? It is recording. Now, right now, the zoom rocker and the other buttons don't work. However, actually, wait, it just did. There's been an update to somebody's app. The zoom rocker does kind of work a little bit. It's not 100% flawless. What happens is it zooms in, and then when I let it go, it goes back to normal. So it's not staying, but you can use it as like a slight quick zoom in, might come in handy. But that's something that Blackmagic can update, or of course, Telesin can reach out to Blackmagic and say, hey, can you integrate this sucker to work with this app? So it will start and stop the recording over here. And when you press on the button to give it a little tap, you know, like you do in a camera where you half press, it will set the autofocus and auto exposure real quick. So if you needed to readjust exposure, you just tap that and it'll readjust accordingly because you just do a light tap. If you press the function button twice, nothing happens. But if you press the top button twice, it brings up the auto exposure. And again, those are some things that, of course, Telesin and Blackmagic can work out later. But yes, I have gotten it to work with the Blackmagic app. 9 times out of 10, my Blackmagic settings are already set. I'm really just going to use it to start and stop the recording, which is nice because when I pull my camera out and flip it up, boom, now it's recording in Blackmagic, right? So that's pretty much all I really need as far as that goes. And I haven't tested it with Highlight or any of the other apps, but I would say just try it. And again, if there's an app that you wanted to work with, I would say reach out to Telesin and let them know, here's an app I would like you to work with. Reach out to the app company that you wanted to work with and say, have you guys seen the Master Grip by Telesin? You guys need to meet each other, or just send a tweet, tag them both and be like, can you guys make this work? Like, super simple. It's super simple. I love this. Oh, I didn't mention the part where you Bluetooth pair it, but that's how it works. It works over Bluetooth, but this is really incredible. And again, one of the other cool parts about it working over Bluetooth, if this is disconnected from the body and I have this on a tripod, I can still start and stop, boom, the camera with the press of a button. You know what I mean? So very handy. It just feels better in the hand when you're shooting content. You get a nice little grip. It does have a nice little angle. So if you're sitting it on a table and using it as a vertical stand, it does have a nice angle. That angle is not adjustable. It's just basically built off of this, but it is pretty flat. So you can, post your phone up on a table somewhere and shoot. But, if I got to give it out of 10, I'm going to call it like a 9 out of 10, and I'll explain why in just a second. But let's get to just the case part, because if you don't buy the combo, you do get this cooling case. I think this is amazing, okay? So inside here, there's a layer of graphene. If I were to take my case off, you can see there's a layer of graphene here, which is really good for transferring the heat. It has some ventilation action going in right there, and it does allow the magnet grip to stick pretty well to the phone. One other thing that they added, which I hope they expand, I didn't see any information on the site, and when I talked to my rep, She didn't tell me that they had anything expanded, but it kind of makes sense that they will. It comes with a UV cover, which will protect your lens from hurting. And there's little grooves in here. So this isn't just plopped on there. There's grooves on this side, grooves on this side. And it feels like a little bit of a magnet. And when you push it on and you get it straight, it says in there to win. It stays on. I've had this on since I put the phone on. It doesn't come off because that little bit of magnet. So even as hard as I'm hitting my phone, now my phone thinks I'm having an emergency. As hard as I'm hitting my phone, it's not doing anything. It's not coming off. It's not trying to fall off. So I do like that aspect of it. Wake back up, phone. I do like that aspect of this case is that you do protect the lens. The case is plastic, which I think is fine. If it were metal, it would scratch up the camera. And I believe it has some drop protection, but I'm not the type of person to drop my phone too often. I shouldn't say that. There's no wood around here. I'm not going to drop it now. But I don't drop my phone too often, so I wasn't too worried about the drop protection. It does seem to be nice. The only thing that I would say I probably would have done is I wish there were a little knurling right here to give it a little bit more grip, but it is substantially grippy with the phone. And it looks cool that it's silver. I kind of wish it was black. The black and orange would have looked really, really good. Right now, the silver and orange looks amazing, but the black and orange would have looked a little bit better. Those are minor things. It does have places on the side where you can attach lanyard to here. I tried that and it was too tight. So you end up putting the lanyard onto the bottom of the grip, here, which is fine. Not that big a deal, but that means when you're using this, you're not going to use the crossbody or any of the other type of sort of camera things that go with that. You really would just use it as is. But, you know, this thing is pretty clutch. The case does help keep the phone cool because if you're shooting in ProRes, of course, your phone will gather a little bit of heat. But yeah, this is a really cool setup. I gotta say, once again, it's definitely worth checking out. If you shoot a lot of content, you wanna be a little bit quicker on the fly with using your content, pull your phone out, get to shoot a little bit better angles. And I think it's a really cool setup. So I'm gonna put links in the description. Once again, thank you to Telesin for sending me out and trusting me to make this review for you guys. I am lucky that this came just in time for my iPhone 17 to land because I left home a couple of days later to come here to shoot this event for camp, and I'm gonna be out a lot shooting. So this guy will be with me the entire time. So anybody who's coming to camp, if you see me, ask me to see this, I'll show it to you. If not, just hit the video. You know what I say, I don't know who need to see this, but if you liked it, that is not how I say it. If it was you, let me know in the comment section below. If you like the video now, press the like button, press the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, yes, you can drop that in the comment section below. And right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video I think you should watch, and I agree with him.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet.